Hey folks, it's Mad Rabbit, and I'm back in medieval Minecraft creations. And as you see here, I'm in an area where a whole lot of weird looking stuff is sort of sitting around. This is sort of what's been preoccupying me for the past couple weeks, making mountains. And I know you're looking at the mountains going, what the heck is all that sand on the mountains for? And what are you doing? Yeah, well, let's just say it's been a very long project, and I have ways of making mountains that will look nice and look natural. And a lot of it has to do with creating sand or gravel kind of floating up in the sky and then knocking it down and then kind of building upon that, adding more and more and layering it and then converting things over to from the sand to stone, and then you do it again, you make a layer of snow. But in some areas you are in a snow biome, so as you see here I actually have to destroy some of the snow layers in some areas. And then I not only did I do this huge mountain range encircling the area where that city is going to be eventually, the city is going to be circular. I actually ended up destroying the walls for the one I have, and that was in here because I wanted this area to be kind of bigger. And I'll remake them at some later point. It wasn't that good. There was something wrong with the measurement or something there. Anyway, so I was going to have to do it. So as you see here, I'm going to have to go back in here and do a lot of this work with the brush tool in the editor. And as you see, I ended up in one area I'm doing these things and kind of building upon them. And when you do that, your computer just slows down to a crawl. Sometimes it's like it'll go like this for like if they're too big, they'll go like that for like a half hour or so and just keep going. And if they're connected, they'll keep going because they'll launch and they'll get another one to launch off, and your computer just can't handle it. It just takes a million years. It won't crash, but it'll just keep going and going. So as you see today, we are doing something different. I wanted to do something out and about in the environment. No, because I wasn't actually going to show you the mountain making, other than just what I explained just now. So I decided to go around and maybe make some different banners and things. I wanted to make my world a little more alive. And I've said this before. So just going around and maybe picking areas to develop out of the clear blue. And this is just an area that's out in the middle of nowhere, not too far from the base and not too far from these mountains I'm making. But I decided to do a little outpost, doing a bunch of little flag poles and banner poles and stuff. Just experimenting with different things. I wanted to get away from making the homes, the generico homes over and over again. I think you guys get the point on the homes. Like if you can't make a house like the ones I've been making the past 6 or 7 episodes, I don't know, maybe you got mental problems then or something. I'm suspecting most of YouTube does have mental problems anyway. You people just sit here and watch this stuff and you don't actually do anything. Anyway, would be nice if you actually did stuff and challenge yourself, but that's probably asking too much. At any rate, yeah. Well, I have a problem with this generation. Yes, I do. Children that are just a lazy generation of children. And, yeah, well, at any rate, that's just my opinion on it. And I'm pretty much right 90% of the time. So as you see here, just making flags and whatnot that I'm going to put around the place. And, obviously you can change up these designs whatever any color you want if you're going to make them. I'm just goofing around here. The whole entranceway into the castle itself will sort of have stuff like this. And I'll most likely be copying a lot of these sorts of banners different places. This one here I end up getting rid of. It doesn't quite work right for me. So if you're going to copy, don't copy this one. It just didn't really work. But at any rate, I think it's adding stuff like this. You need adding some color in here and there. It actually makes your world a little bit more, I don't know, gives it more character. It just doesn't seem to have much character right now. Yeah, each building it's sort of a separate project, and then you're kind of thinking like, well, they all kind of go together, but what you're building here behind these walls in particular is your own kingdom. So you have to think of it that way. You have to do something that kind of unifies the whole thing. So that's what I do. Yeah. My genius knows no bounds. and I'm humble too. At any rate, yeah, I just goof around here with some of these banners and stuff. Some of this stuff that obviously didn't work out. But in the editor, you can save schematics of things you make. So I could just take these designs, like I said, I have here coming into town, and just copy them anywhere at the touch of a button. So that's really what, to me, a tool like MCEdit, and I've been a big proponent of this for that tool for a long time now. I'm really hoping that maybe Mojang itself will kind of implement that into their actual game. Like maybe I can make an actual editing mode, because MCEdit right now still is very unstable. I've had a lot of times where I'm making those mountains where it just crashes to desktop for no reason. You lose a lot of your work if you're not anally saving anally. I mean, that's just the way it is. It's still unstable, even though they're keeping up on it. It should be compatible with all future versions of Minecraft. The guy really isn't fixing the issues, and he's not adding the new block types. Even though you can actually put the new block types in if you know the number combination and all this. It's just a big hassle to do that kind of thing. That's why I like keeping my worlds, at least like my creative worlds, if I'm going to use MCEdit, completely free of mods, so I don't run into any compatibility issues or anything. So ultimately what I wanted to do here was just make an actual little outpost. So I came back to this coast where I was thinking, okay, I'm going to make and develop some area here. And I've seen this design before. I've done this in other areas of my castle. If you remember, like one of my earlier builds on the, I think it's the marketplace. Basically, it's not really that much different of the design here. Making just sort of like a little small army encampment with their own little tents and stuff. And I just made one in this encampment, but I'll probably end up copying this and, again, saving schematic. Maybe putting a few in this area, or changing the color scheme a little bit, and maybe just put a few around here. Even just making some of these boring lampposts a little more interesting. And I had a little mishap with the water there. Yeah, that was all part of my genius, though. I meant to do that. At any rate, yeah, even just making lampposts a little more interesting. That's what I do here. I make everything more interesting, like M&Ms. Throwing a few banners down. Actually, on the lampposts themselves. Obviously, they don't look like banners. I mean, that's just it's Minecraft. You have to suspend disbelief on some things. Like what I tried to tell that one person that didn't quite grasp the whole boat thing, the flying boat thing. Yeah, it's sort of I'm doing some things that are fantasy based, that are fantasy medieval. So you gotta suspend disbelief. Plus, I mean, boats in Minecraft are always gonna look square anyway. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do; they're just gonna look square, right? So I always get thumbs down on the boat episodes for some reason because of that. Because you can't make it perfect. I don't know what the people's problem is. There's a few people out there that made some really phenomenal boats. Not taking anything away from them, but yeah, my feelings are hurt. At any rate, yeah, I like doing this kind of stuff for the roads, kind of make it a little more rustic looking. That whole roadway going all the way down here was kind of boring, so I'm gonna probably do stuff like that at different points. Just throwing in even just a little bit of gravel, maybe some, just whatever. Then I'm doing this stuff here, gravel again, kind of mishmatch. Going down here, I'm probably going to at some later point develop this area a little more, because this is sort of going to be like another port, but not like huge like the one on the other side. I really never really fully developed the one on the other side either. So I will probably someday do that. That's not in the near future, though. I'm not really in the mood to do much in the way of boats and ports. They're a little boring sometimes too. And I just decided to make like an old dilapidated seawall that used to be part of a retaining wall for the sea here, and different, just putting in some cracked blocks and some of the ugly green stained ones, and going in here, just kind of making things look like it's a ruin, like it's something that was old and that really never got fixed or something. Scattering blocks around here and there, and not going too much with the the cracked ones or the green ones. Just you gotta be sparing with some of this stuff. And then just reshaping the bay here a little bit at the end. It didn't quite look right. I wanted to be a little bit further out, and yeah, that's really about it. Yeah, like I said, I made this episode mainly kind of as a holdover because I looked back and I think the previous episode was a short one, and I hadn't done one for it was like a good 2 weeks or something, wasn't it? It was like the second, and today's like the 15th that I'm shooting this. So I thought to myself, I gotta put something out from the creation series. Here's our last scene here. Okay, great. So, I mean, the mountain thing has got me bogged down, guys. I'm going to be doing that for a while. You might not be getting too many more episodes because I really want to get in, once I get that one huge mountain done, is to go in and start doing the Dwarven Castle Citadel, and that's going to be a very large multi-part project. I'll probably take breaks from it at times and come back here and jump around places, but because I do tend to get burned out. But alright, well, remember hit that like button on the way out, guys. Keep me alive here, and I will see you next time. My Rabbit signing off. Adios.